So, in honor of Pride Month, I'm so excited to be joined by Rick Miller, a psychotherapist, speaker, and author known for his pioneering work with gay men and male couples, including Unwrapped, integrative therapy with gay men. Rick also co-teaches a course with Modern Sex Therapy Institutes titled When Two is More Fun Than One, focused on working with male couples and expanding clinicians' understanding of relational and sexual dynamics. Rick, thanks so much for being here. I'm so
Thank you.
excited.
Can I add one more thing?
Oh my gosh, of
I
course.
have a
Yes.
new book that came out last year. It's a
Yes.
workbook for male couples, and it's called Opening Up, a Communication Workbook for Male Couples.
Oh,
And
I love
in
it.
this book, there's a lot of verbal exercises, a lot of introspection, some guided meditations, and there are no workbooks for gay male couples. So
Yeah.
this is it.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
adding that. That's so
absolutely.
important. Oh,
Yeah,
I love it. Okay. I'm gonna bring us into the questions now, if that's okay with
yeah,
you. Or
absolutely.
okay. First question is how did you first become involved with LGBTQ plus IA education and advocacy? I mean, was there like a specific moment that
No,
shaped it?
I mean, basically, I came out when I was a senior in college in
Mhm.
1983,
Okay.
something like that. I went to a private practice psychotherapist to deal with my coming out. And by the way, I should have come out long before that because I knew I was gay. And
Yeah.
while I was sitting in psychotherapy, I thought, oh my God, I want to be self employed and I'm
Hmm.
a people person. I'm going to become a therapist.
Mm.
So I moved to Boston to get my MSW, again, 1983. And I was newly out and I started working with LGBTQ people from the get go. And I was an out gay male therapist in the 80s in Boston.
Wow.
And so I've been working with the population ever since. My first book was published around 10, 12 years ago. So that was when the educating and the public speaking and the writing began. But my career, I worked in the AIDS field. I've been working with LGBTQ people for the duration of my career, and it just has been a specialty based on the fact that it takes one to know one.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm curious, I know you're talking a lot about like your own identity and how that shaped your work. I'm wondering
Yeah.
how it has shaped the way that you approach teaching or speaking about these topics or even working with clients.
I think two things. One is the field of mental health can be very conservative and restrained. And early on, I learned to be informal and myself. And that's always been a piece that I've brought into the work, and it's contributed a lot to my success.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm really answering your question, but it's
You are.
what has in what I've learned is to be myself is teaching other people that one of the more important skills in successes in life and professional life is to be authentic. So,
Mm.
though I do a lot of writing and research, I'm not a true academic. I'm a true people person who brings my true self into the room.
Yes. And I think that's so important to be able to create that space then for other people to come into themselves and bring all of their
Absolutely.
identities into the space.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I'm wondering if there has been one or many, like what if you had to pick one, a rewarding experience, one of the most, that you've had while teaching or speaking about specifically LGBTQ plus IA topics.
So, three different events, not a
Okay.
moment, but
Mhm.
periods of time. The first is when my first book came out, Unwrapped Integrative Therapy with Gay Men. It forced me to no longer be a private practitioner in the office with my door shut and to be more public. And I started teaching in the realm of mental health all over the world. And it forced me to be not only out, but to be comfortable with myself as an authority figure and to trust that what I had to say matters and that I wasn't just speaking to gay men, I was speaking to a whole broad group of people. So that period of time enabled me to accept that I have something to say, that I'm good, all that. So that was one. The next phase that was really important was the pandemic. Um,
Mm,
I work with a lot of male couples,
okay,
and
yeah.
a lot of male couples were too busy with their careers and they weren't making space for each other. And they were canceling sessions all the time, and we weren't making progress in couples therapy. But suddenly, all of these couples were at home with each other full time. And a lot of people got to appreciate that their relationship was much stronger than it
Mm,
had been. And so my work changed as a result of that. The other thing that happened is that for whatever reason, during this period of time, people started talking about sex with me a whole lot more. And since then, so much of my practice has been in discussing sexuality. And again, informality comes in handy when you're talking about sex.
sure.
So my
Yeah.
practice
Mhm.
changed like so much during that period of time as a result. And now we're beyond that. And all these skills are with me, which is great.
Yeah.
And third thing that happened, which has been pivotal for me in my growth, is that a year ago, I directed and produced a documentary movie called Mom, I Have Something to Tell You. And it's about the emotional relationship between gay men and their mothers and why it's important. And I've been
Yeah.
going to film festivals, getting some awards, sharing it all over in different places. And it has been this powerful aspect of my life, my legacy, my career. It's been so incredible. When the film is shown, there's never a dry eye in the house. One day I forgot to bring Kleenex with me to a film screening. It was a
Yeah.
problem. So it's just been incredible to be doing these different things. And our field is so rich and so profound that we can do things and grow and
Yes.
change and incorporate our skills and never get bored. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, even from what you just shared, right? Like there's an overarching topic, but you were able to do so many different things and have so
Totally.
much personal growth in that space
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
great.
yeah,
I
thank you
love it.
for taking us through that journey. I
Yeah,
love that
sure.
it was kind
Thank
of like a
you.
trajectory.
Yeah.
Um, I'm wondering, I'm pivoting us a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
wondering what a common misconception you find yourself addressing, particularly when it comes to gay men or male
Oh my
couples.
God. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if I can't tell you how often I have the conversation with
Hmm.
gay men that you have to be a top or a bottom, and that's what they believe. And they come into therapy feeling that there's something wrong with them if they're not. And I'm working with a guy right now. He's in his early 50s. He doesn't like anal sex. He's
Hmm.
totally embarrassed about it. And he lies to people and avoids hooking up with men because he doesn't want to be humiliated. And he's convinced that there's something wrong with him because he doesn't like anal sex. And I keep saying to him, A, you're not the only one. B, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong. C, love what you love doing and be happy with that. So
Hmm.
that's the biggest thing.
Yes. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I think that's so important, right? Just expanding and finding what's pleasurable for you and
And
centering that.
going with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I'm wondering what kind of challengers do educators or advocates face today that they didn't face maybe like 5 years ago, especially around LGBTQ plus IA topics.
I mean, I think there's a few different answers to that. One is it's always been important to be culturally sensitive. And I mean that both in terms of getting education and working with LGBTQ plus IA
Yeah.
people, but also specific cultural and ethnic groups who have their own ways of doing things and their own beliefs about sexuality and homosexuality. And there's a lot there. And as much as we liberal thinking, well intentioned people want to make our clients more comfortable and easy, they come from cultures where they are repressed and stuck. And it's really, really hard to get beyond that with our clients. Um,
Yeah.
so that's the biggest answer. What was the question again? I already forgot what the question was.
Oh, you're so good. You're fine. It was the challenges that educators or advocates might face today that might
Yes.
be different than it was maybe 5 years ago. And you completely
Okay,
answered that.
I think that's the
And
biggest one. I
yeah.
think, appreciating the differences about being gay
Hmm.
versus being trans versus not
Yeah.
needing to have an identity
Hmm.
versus many people don't even need to come out the way that they used to in the old days because the
Yeah.
world in many pockets is different and accepting. So that
Hmm.
would be my second answer.
Yeah.
And the third answer is never underestimate the power of your acceptance as a
Mm,
provider with the people that you
yeah.
work with. And time again, this is more than 5 years, but this is so important.
Yeah.
I'm saying it that
Great.
your role as a provider to genuinely accept and love and informally share that with your clients is
Mm,
more healing than any other aspect of the work.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Um, and continuing to kind of like learn from you, I'm wondering from people who want to take your course and learn from you, specifically the course with MSTI, what would you want them to know?
I want them to know to sign up and attend.
Great. Yes.
I
Okay,
mean,
perfect.
basically,
It's on my list. I need to watch
you're
it.
getting a sense of who I am in these few short moments. And I am so relational. And I
Yeah.
really believe that the relational aspects of our work is where the biggest possibility of change and motivation comes with the
Hmm.
clients that we work with. And, we can talk about sex and technique and all stuff like that, but the
Yeah.
relational perspective is where the richness of this work comes from.
Mm, yes. You've already left us with so much like pearls of wisdom, but I'm wondering if you wanted to leave one message, especially for LGBTQ plus IA clinicians or community members to carry with them this Pride Month, what message would you want to leave us with?
I guess the message is that all of us have the opportunity to educate people, to change the world. And sometimes the best ways of making change is through gentle storytelling
Mm-hmm.
rather than shoving things in people's faces
Yeah.
and forcing people to change.
Yeah.
And sweetness goes a real long way. And part of Pride Month is sharing who we are with the world at large and inspiring people to shift their thinking through our examples of who we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Oh, Rick, thank you so much for your insight and for the
Absolutely. Thank
meaningful work
you.
you continue to do. If you're interested in learning more about Rick's course, When Two is More Fun Than One, you can check it out through Modern Sex Therapy Institute.